Senator Langford, are you afraid for your own security right now?
I am attentive to my own security. How about that? For myself and for my family, my staff and I have to talk through each public event, but we've had to do that for a while. As you may know well, there have been 14,000 threats against members of Congress just this calendar year. This is not new, but it continues to be able to rise, as we've seen Democratic lawmakers in Minnesota in their own home have a home invasion and be murdered in their home, as we've seen a governor in Pennsylvania have his home set on fire. It's not just public events, it's also in our private spaces as well, that we're keenly aware that there are people that are irrational, that do irrational acts.
Senator Coons?
I agree that for all of us who serve in public life, whether it's leading a nonprofit or a church, teaching in a school, or being a public advocate, someone engaged in public debate, as Charlie Kirk was, the risk is getting higher. And to have to worry about the safety of your own family, if you step forward to serve as a judge, if you write editorials, if you lead a nonprofit, or if you serve in Congress or run for president, to have to worry not just about your own physical safety, but the safety of your spouse and children, I think weakens our ability to have good and robust debates, to have a well-led nation, and to demonstrate to the world that we're a nation committed to free speech, but where we reject political violence. So, of course, anyone in public life today is more concerned about the tragedy in Utah, about the incidents that Senator Langford just referenced, the attempt to kidnap the governor of Michigan, to assault Speaker Pelosi's husband, the shooting of Steve Scalise, and the shootings at other members of Congress. The recent incidents have gotten worse and worse, and I think I know the reason. It's principally because the internet is fueling and accelerating those deep-seated inclinations towards violence and seeing others as enemies that James was referencing. And there are steps we can and should take in Congress to address that.
The administration this weekend, as I'm sure you two are both aware, putting before Congress $58 billion in security for members of Congress, the judiciary, and the like. Senator Coons, do you believe Congress will be disposed to agree to that?
I hope that we will step up and invest more. I just hosted a bipartisan event last week on protecting state judges. And we had state judicial leaders from across the country, from Delaware and Texas and many other states, talk about harrowing incidents and tragic killings of members of the judiciary. I hope we will invest in securing our public life, because incidents like this tragedy in Utah, like the murder of Melissa and her husband Mark Hortman in Minnesota, frankly, fuel further anger in our country. And the ways in which folks are then taking the horrific images of these incidents and propagating them on the internet adds fuel to the fire. We can and should pass bills, as we just did. Senator Cruz and Senator Klobuchar worked together to pass, and President Trump signed into law, the Take It Down Act, to remove some of the most harmful pornographic revenge porn images from the internet. And we have a bill right in front of us, the Kids Online Safety Act, that's broadly bipartisan, that we should pass to help reduce some of the risks and harms to our families and our country from the internet.
Senator Langford, I misspoke. That's $58 million, not $58 billion, but it's a substantial